Hey, how's it going? Welcome back. Yeah, it's been a minute, but I've been doing shit. I haven't really had time to put a video together until now. I've got a small stack of newer releases that I'm going to discuss briefly, and then you can get on with your day. We're going to kick it off with a brand spanking new LP by a band that is local to me, a band that I've discussed at length several times, a synth punk band. Of course, I'm talking about Mononegatives. This is the Crossing Visual Field LP, jointly released by Dowd Records in America and No Front Teeth over in the UK. Like I said, synth punk band, very good at what they do, very prolific. They put a bunch of shit out in the last while. They kind of cover all the bases as far as synth punk goes. Like, you know, there's the slower, moodier kind of synth pop jams. There's a lot of the eccentric kind of robot vocal kind of stuff that you would expect from bands like Liquids or the Coneheads or whatnot. And sometimes they turn it up a little more even, and it kind of almost goes off into, you know, much noisier territory. This is all their stuff's good. This is certainly no exception. If you're into synth punk, then I highly recommend you pick this up. Like I said, it's released by two different labels. Both labels did limited versions of it. Like Dowd Records did the extra cardboard cover with the glued-on triangle. Goes up a quarter of the way here on the back. And the No Front Teeth version has a super flimsy, like, onion paper cover, which is pretty neat. I love when labels do stuff like this. They just go the extra mile. It's just, it keeps it interesting. But yeah, long story short, new Mononegatives record is awesome. Pick it up if you can. Highly recommended. All right, now we're going to a band from Toronto, also released by two different labels, one being Neon Taste here in Canada and the other being Static Shock over in the UK. A few weeks ago I was on the What Are You Listening To live stream, and I showed this, but I'm going to show it here too because it's that good. It's the self-titled 12-inch by Imploders. Look at that guy. The artwork on this is actually pretty cool. One of my favorite Toronto bands going right now. They've been playing a lot lately. I've seen them a bunch. They're going on tour in mainland Europe, like very, very soon. So if you live over there and you can check them out, then do it. Very good live band. Drumming in this band is awesome. If you're gonna dumb it down, like, the vocals remind me a lot of Martin from Career Suicide. It's just got that tone and that kind of gravelly consistency. Musically, not too far removed from something like, you know, Zero Boys, Angry Samoans, but there's also like a little bit of maybe a 90s garage punk edge, like a Carbonas kind of thing or something. I don't know, it's very, very good. Solid band, great live band, as I've said. But yeah, I think everybody watching this channel, like we're watching this video rather, should get a copy of this. So yeah, highly recommended. Can't wait to hear more of what they do. Imploders. Now we're staying in Toronto. This is a reissue of if not the earliest Toronto hardcore band. There may be ones that came out earlier, but I can't really think of who. But I'm talking about Youth. This is the Sin EP. It's got some extra songs on it that were recorded in 82 and 83, though. Sin EP originally came out in 1983 on Fringe Product. And I have a copy of that. Actually, I have two copies of that, but why would I not get a remastered version with extra tracks? I wouldn't be dumb to pass that by. So, anyways, yeah, Youth. Great early Toronto hardcore band. It's got like driving guitars, it's got like the noodly bass, it's got galloping drums. The vocals are, you know, Brian's vocals are done in more of like a spoken style, but very, like you can tell it's him. political lyrics. Just a great band all around. Highly recommended. If there was one like early Toronto hardcore record to get, I would say this would be the one. So it's on Blue Fog Records. It was released this year. Yeah, total winner here. People were waiting for a reissue of this for years, and now it's finally here. So yeah, Youth, Sin. Now staying with Blue Fog Records and Youth. Got the self-titled 12-inch by Old. This is Brian. He's the guy that sang for Youth. This is a newer project that he's been doing with one of the guys from Eric's Trip, which were a band from Halifax that were fairly big here in Canada, but I have no idea whether they, kind of got popular outside of Canada or not. But this is surprised me. Very good. Of course, you hear Brian's vocals, and you can totally tell it's the guy from Youth. But musically, this is a lot more scaled back. It's faster. It's more frenzied, I guess, than the Youth. It's a little bit rawer. But yeah, shorter songs, faster songs. This is really good. Kind of took me off guard because I didn't expect to like it as much as I do. I've listened to this thing a ton now. But I've seen quite a few people post it on, like Facebook and Instagram and whatnot. So it's making the rounds out there. It was originally released as a cassette, like a little while back that I had no idea about, or I would have grabbed one. But I'm glad they put it out on vinyl as well. So yeah, Blue Fog Records is hitting it out of the park. 2 great releases this year. They should have been called Old, though. I mean, somebody said that on Instagram, and yeah. Like, I mean, just to compliment the Youth thing, Old would have been they must have considered it, but just kiboshed it. Whatever. Get this record. It's fucking good. All right, we're going to Sweden. It's a 12-inch. It was released, when was this released? Yeah, 2022. It's on La Vida es un Mus. I got this from Stevie over at Stevie's Vinyl. He sent me a care package with a bunch of great stuff, which I will get to in future videos. But this is the record that I've listened to the most out of that. I keep coming back to this. Super interesting and not at all what I would normally listen to. But it's a band called AIDS. It's The Road to Nuclear Holocaust. Terrible band name. I don't really recommend Googling it because you'll just be at it for hours. But if you've ever wondered what an industrial version of Discharge sounded like, it's this. It's Discharge with a drum machine and synths. And as much as I'm sure there are people out there that are just scoffing at that, this is fucking awesome. So good. It's done by people that were in like Wolf Brigade and Sunday Morning Einsteins and a bunch of other bands. Super good, very interesting, and not at all what I expected. I had never heard of this when I got it and put it on. It's not at all what I expected. But yeah, this sounds exactly like Discharge if they were an industrial band, I guess. It's good shit. Pick it up. And we go to a band from Seattle. This is on Feel It Records from like 2019, I think. No, 2021. It's a band called Lysol. It's called Soup for My Family. I saw this band a bunch of years back. They were really good. They were a great live band, but I never really kept up with them after that. I just never really bothered. They've had a bunch of releases since, and I just never really bothered with them. My buddy Steve got an extra copy of this somehow and passed it my way, and yeah, this is pretty good. It's modern. It's solid modern hardcore punk. There's the slower stomping stuff, and there's some kind of faster, just more driving stuff. Cool guitar leads. Like they've got a few surprises up their sleeves in that. But I mean, it's not going to reinvent the wheel, but it's pretty solid. So if you've heard Lysol before, and you've liked them, then you'll totally like this too. Yeah, Lysol, Soup for My Family from Seattle. There's people in this band from like Control Test, Beta Boys, Nudes, a bunch of other bands. So, yep. It's worth a couple bucks. Buy it. Sure, it's not going to break you. All right, now the last one. This is a band, this is from the 80s. It's a band that started out in El Centro, California before moving to San Diego. Now, I remember they used to put ads back in the classifieds of MRR and send them $1 for a tape or whatever. And I did, and I got their tape. It was just a bare bones tape, no cover or anything. I still have it somewhere. And I liked it because it was weird. Like the vocals on it, I remember it sounded like a guy pinching his nose while singing and just stuff. I like weird shit like that. They have a split 7-inch, which I thought I had, but I can't find it, so I guess I don't. Which some idiot on Discogs is trying to sell for like, $1,300 or some shit. It's totally not worth that, but whatever. All their shit got released on one LP by a label called Puto Jefe just this year. It's a band called Wheezing Maniac. The record's called Shade Through the Night Door. Now, this band is kind of known because they were some of their songs were included on a skate video, which would be one of the H Street videos. I got it written down here. H Street's the Hocus Pocus video. The song "Dollar on a Platter" kind of got a little bit of a cult following. So now this, what is it? Puto Jefe has put out all their stuff on one LP. Definitely got to be in the mood to listen to it. It's got kind of a weird jam band quality. Like they're a weird bunch of people, I have no doubt. This sounds like if some of the it sounds like outsider music in a way. Like if somebody like Jandek decided to try his hand at doing a skate rock band, it would sound like this. I mean, some of it's like just strummed, kind of semi-acoustic sounding guitar with like poetry recital lyrics, which I'm not super into. But the songs that hit harder, they sit just right with me. So, and I always love the name, like Wheezing Maniac. I don't know, I just like that. But I wouldn't say to break your bank looking for a copy of this or anything, because I think it's a European release and they're kind of expensive as far as the new releases go. But yeah, if you see a copy kicking around, then it's definitely worth picking up. You probably won't listen to the whole thing a lot. You'll listen to certain tracks and be happy with it. So yeah, Wheezing Maniac, Shade Through the Night Door. So yeah, that's what I got. I'll be back soon. I kind of don't have as much going on in the near future, so I'll be able to do more videos for at least for a little while. So see ya. Cheers.